Dylan Wang and Bai Lu confirming they're living together, packed with detailed, mind-blowing scenes. Behind closed doors. Dylan Wang and Bai Lu's secret life under one roof. Beijing had always been a city of whispers, politics in dim tea houses, fashion in candlelit lounges, and celebrity secrets exchanged in midnight taxis. But the whisper that exploded across social media yesterday wasn't whispered at all. It was shouted through every trending hashtag in China. Dylan Wang and Bai Lu are living together. The photo that changed everything. It began innocently, at least for the lucky neighbor who spotted them. Early morning, 6:42 a.m., in a high-end residential complex in Chaoyang district. The air was misty, and the city was still stretching awake. A tall figure in loose black sweatpants and a gray hoodie descended the elevator holding 2 takeaway coffees. Beside him was a petite woman in an oversized cream cardigan. Her hair messy from sleep, one slipper slightly sliding off her foot. They didn't notice the neighbor watching. Dylan was trying to shield her from the cold wind, wrapping an arm over her shoulders, while Bai Lu laughed softly, her face half hidden behind the paper cup. One quick photo, one tap to Weibo. And by noon the internet was burning. The online frenzy. Fans weren't just surprised, they were shocked. Living together. Is this, actually happening? That's Dylan's hoodie. He wore it in that 2023 airport photo. Detectives in the fandom started comparing Bai Lu's cream cardigan to one she wore during a livestream last month. Only this time, the sleeves were slightly frayed at the cuffs. Signs of frequent use, one fan account claimed, zooming in on pixelated screenshots like it was a police case file. The official confirmation. By afternoon, Dylan's studio broke the silence. A short statement appeared on his official Weibo. Yes, we are currently living together. Please give us privacy to enjoy this stage of our relationship. Thank you for your support. No denial. No vague wording. Just a blunt truth that shook the industry. Minutes later, Bai Lu reposted it with a simple emoji. House red heart. If the internet was burning before, now it was a wildfire. Inside their shared home. The first glimpse. Reporters swarmed Chaoyang, but Dylan and Bai Lu had already retreated into their quiet fortress. That night, however, a clip surfaced on Douyin from a food delivery driver. The short video, filmed from a respectful distance, showed Dylan opening the apartment door barefoot, hair damp from a shower, wearing a white t-shirt that clung to his frame. Behind him, Bai Lu was visible in the living room, curled on the sofa with a blanket, laughing at something on the TV. No luxury staging, no over-the-top decor. Just warm, lived-in chaos. A half-finished jigsaw puzzle on the coffee table, 2 mismatched mugs beside it, and a sleepy golden retriever padding across the floor. Their private daily rhythm. Close sources, those who'd seen them up close in the neighborhood, painted a picture that was almost domestic comedy. Mornings. Dylan, an early riser, always takes the dog out at sunrise. Bai Lu, not a morning person, would sometimes meet him at the lobby barefoot, still rubbing sleep from her eyes, to get a coffee together. Afternoons. She works from their dining table when she doesn't have shoots, wearing his hoodies. He cooks lunch, rumored to be surprisingly good at making Sichuan-style spicy noodles. Evenings. They often bike to the small park nearby, Dylan pedaling while Bai Lu rides behind him, arms wrapped around his waist. Neighbors say it's like watching a romance drama unfold in real life. The cinematic rainstorm scene. But the moment that sealed their real-life drama status came just 3 nights before the news broke. It was raining heavily. Beijing rain, fierce and unrelenting. Streetlights glistened off puddles, and the wind made umbrellas useless. A few locals spotted them running down the street, soaked to the bone. Dylan had ditched his umbrella to shield Bai Lu with his jacket, holding it over her head while he got completely drenched. She kept laughing between gasps for breath, clutching his hand as they darted toward their building's entrance. They didn't know anyone was watching when, at the glass doors, Dylan stopped, brushed wet hair from her face, and kissed her. Slowly, like they weren't in the middle of a downpour, like the city didn't exist around them. The security guard pretending to check his phone later told a reporter. It was like a movie. Friends spill the truth. One of Bailu's close friends allegedly told a magazine. They've actually been living together for months. This wasn't sudden. Dylan moved some of his things in during her drama filming last winter. And, well, he never moved them out. Another friend from Dylan's basketball group said. He's different now. He still plays, but after games he doesn't go out drinking. He goes straight home. Says someone's waiting for him. The balcony moment. On the second night after confirmation, paparazzi caught another moment. But this time it wasn't scandalous, it was tender. Their balcony light was on. Dylan was sitting cross-legged on the floor, tuning a guitar. Bailu sat beside him, chin on her knees, listening. At one point, he strummed a slow melody, and she reached out to fix a strand of hair sticking to his forehead. They weren't aware of the camera. Or maybe they didn't care. Why this hit's different. Couples in the Chinese entertainment world are often forced to hide, but Dylan and Bailu's approach was unusual. Instead of evasion, they embraced it. There was no PR panic, no rushed breakup announcement for career focus. Instead, they gave the public a peek. Not too much, but enough to make the world root for them. It wasn't the glamour that caught people. It was the normalcy. The hoodie sharing. The dog walking. The running in the rain. In a world obsessed with curated perfection, this felt raw and unfiltered. What's next for them? Industry insiders predict that their decision could open doors for more stars to openly live with their partners. Some brands might hesitate, but others, especially lifestyle and couple-oriented endorsements, are already circling. Meanwhile, fans have already begun a new tag. #DylanBaiHomeLife, where fan edits of their rare appearances together are paired with soft music, giving their everyday moments a romantic film glow. The ending that's just the beginning. As Beijing's skyline flickers into night, somewhere high above the streets, Dylan Wang and Bailu's lights glow warm against the city's steel. Inside, they're probably cooking dinner, or arguing over which movie to watch, or maybe sitting in companionable silence while rain taps against the glass. A day in their world. Dylan Wang and Bailu's 24-hour love story. The day began with a whisper of sunlight sliding through cream curtains, the kind of slow, golden light that makes time hesitate before beginning. 7:12 a.m. The coffee ritual. Dylan was already awake. He padded across the hardwood floor in bare feet, hair slightly messy, wearing loose black sweatpants and a gray t-shirt that clung to his lean frame. The air smelled faintly of fresh laundry and last night's rain. The balcony door had been left cracked open, letting in a cool breeze. In the kitchen, he moved with a practiced rhythm. Coffee beans into the grinder. The low hum as he pressed down. The hiss of the kettle. He always made 2 cups, even when Bailu was still deep in her dreams. The second cup was always lighter, milkier. He'd heat the milk until it frothed just the way she liked, then pour it into the mug with a swirl that left a faint heart shape at the surface. By the time she shuffled in, wearing his oversized hoodie from a drama set 3 years ago, the coffee was waiting. "You're too good to me," she mumbled, hair a chaotic halo around her head. He smiled, brushing a kiss over her forehead. "You say that every morning, and still you keep coming back." 9:03 a.m. The balcony scene. After coffee, they drifted to the balcony, mugs warming their hands. Below, Beijing was already alive. Horns honking, street vendors calling out, bicycles whirring past. Bailu leaned against the railing, chin resting on her arms, while Dylan stood behind her, arms circling her waist. The city stretched before them, but they were in no hurry to join it. A gust of wind tangled her hair across her face. He reached out to tuck it back, his fingers brushing her cheek. She caught his hand, holding it against her skin for a moment longer than necessary. 11:27 a.m. The grocery run. They didn't send assistance. They didn't order delivery. Instead, they took the elevator down together, Dylan in a black baseball cap, Bailu in a beige cardigan, their fingers laced together like teenagers skipping class. At the neighborhood market, they were just another couple debating vegetables. Eggplant or no eggplant? Dylan held one up like it was a trophy. She wrinkled her nose. You know I don't like the mushy texture. But my grandmother's recipe. Your grandmother's not here, she shot back, grinning. In the end, he slipped two into the basket anyway. We'll see who wins. 1:02 p.m. Cooking chaos. Back in the kitchen, chaos reigned. Chopping boards covered in spring onions, garlic, and chili peppers. A half-peeled cucumber rolling dangerously close to the edge of the counter. Dylan was at the stove, wok sizzling, flames flaring higher than necessary. Bai Lu was helping by taste-testing more than she prepared. You said spicy, right? He asked, tossing in another handful of dried chili. She eyed the pan suspiciously. You're trying to kill me. They ended up eating on the living room floor, plates balanced on the coffee table, the dog curled between them, hoping for a dropped morsel. Bai Lu's lips burned from the spice, but she still cleaned her plate. 3:18 p.m. The lazy hour. Post-lunch, the day slowed. They sprawled on the sofa, Bai Lu's head in Dylan's lap, his fingers absent-mindedly combing through her hair. The TV played some old variety show neither of them was really watching. Every so often, she'd murmur something half asleep. He'd answer softly, even if it didn't make sense. Sunlight moved slowly across the room, and for a while, it felt like the world outside had been put on pause. 6:40 p.m. The rain returns. It started as a drizzle. They were halfway through preparing dinner when Dylan noticed the balcony door rattling from the wind. When they stepped outside, the city was veiled in silver, raindrops bouncing off rooftops, streetlights glowing through mist. Bai Lu tilted her face up, letting the rain kiss her cheeks. Dylan just watched her, the way her eyelashes caught tiny droplets, the way her lips curved without reason. Don't just stand there, she said, grabbing his hand. Moments later, they were running barefoot on the balcony, rain soaking their clothes, their laughter competing with the sound of water hitting glass. 8:14 p.m. Dinner for two. Dinner was quieter. The rain made the air cooler, the apartment cozier. They sat across from each other, legs occasionally brushing under the table, eyes meeting in those silent conversations couples have mastered. He told her about a new script offer. She told him about a character she'd been wanting to play. At one point, she reached for the soy sauce, and his hand caught hers. Neither let go right away. 10:29 p.m. Guitar strings and soft voices. After dinner, Dylan brought out the guitar. He wasn't trying to impress her anymore. She'd heard him practice through missed notes and broken strings. Tonight he played something slow, something warm. Bai Lu curled up beside him, listening without speaking. Halfway through, she began to hum along, her voice low and imperfect, but it fit. By the last chord, she was leaning against his shoulder, eyes closed. 12:04 a.m. The city sleeps, they don't. The apartment was dark except for the warm pool of light from the lamp beside the bed. They lay tangled under the blankets, not asleep yet. She traced circles on his chest. He kissed her temple, then her cheek, then her lips, each slower than the last. Outside, the rain had stopped. Inside, their breathing eventually fell into the same rhythm.